We got news, everybody. News.
Speculation time is speculation time with Turtle Soup. Better get your stuff. Better watch that thing and decode the things. Yeah.
Get your spoon. Yeah. So this just happened, fresh out the kitchen. We've been. I love this.
Got every man in here wishing.
Goodness. Oh man, glad justice was served on that one. But yeah. So
right.
Yeah. But I'm glad we got that song, and then I'm glad that. But then yeah, everything else is fine. You know, just get out of here. But anyway, back to the news. Back to Turtle news. TMNT Turtle movie news, to be specific. If you want to get even more specific, Mutant Mayhem movie madness is what we're talking about, everybody. And yeah, that comes all the way from Twitter and none other than Seth Rogen. You might have heard of him. He's a famous movie star, comedian, fun guy, good dude all around, from what I hear. And yeah. If you're not familiar, he's been saying that he's going to be making a Turtles movie. And yeah, there's not been a lot until recently coming out about it. And so we've got some new, fresh off the presses news. And we're going to go over to the Turtle Soup television, if I can find that real quick. I think I got it right here. Let me plug it in. And here we go. We're gonna take a trip over there, Ryan. Hold on one second. Whoop. There we go. So,
oh my God.
So
I'm in a TV now.
You're in a TV now. So today, what is today? August 4th, I think, 2022.
Yep, it is.
Seth Rogen posted this real-life photograph, which I've heard that you can go view this in New York City, I believe is where they said it was. And but some of this stuff looks really fake, like the fire hydrant down here and stuff like that. It looks really weird. But nevertheless, he posted this image, and this image says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's a certain font, which I believe is going to be the logo for his upcoming animated or CGI movie for the Turtles, and it says Mutant Mayhem, which is going to be the title of said movie. It also says only in theaters August 4th, 2023, which is exactly 1 year away. Yeah, 1 year away. And so around it is and Mutant Mayhem is in mutagen, obviously, to indicate
of course.
That's how we get them.
I mean, of course.
So
that's what they told us.
That's what they told us. And they keep telling us on the side they've got some art, like some graffiti-esque, more like doodles that were just painted on a wall kind of thing.
Yeah.
It says Turtles Rule. We've got an image of here. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this real quick. We got an image of what appears to be the old ice cream, the turtle head ice cream that you could get from, the ice cream man. And with a bite out of it, looks like it says Heroes and a half shell above that. And there's this thing over here. Now, Turtletarians, if you're watching and or listening and you view this thing right here on the right corner looks like something to me, and I can't place it. It's obviously a figure with their arm, and they're like flexing and showing you like their muscles, but it's got a turtle bandana on. It
looks like a turtle. Yeah, like a slash like a maybe.
Turtle, but it's got like hair sort of maybe, or maybe that's some of the font still. I don't really know. But it kind of was evocative to me of Bad Dudes, the video game from the NES days. And I went and looked at it, and it's similar, but it's just it's a static pose kind of. But I think there's some other reference to this. So if you can let us know, turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. And then there's a spaceship below that's kind of beaming up some stuff, and a little smiley face. So yeah, that's what Seth tweeted from his own personal Twitter today. Recently, the other things that he's tweeted in the past have been this thing right here, which is a page out of a notebook that looks like it's from Leonardo, and it's got all his notes. Now, interestingly enough, I think this came out earlier late last year or beginning of this year. But the dates on it are August 11th, 2023, which might have been the original release date.
Yeah,
and it
sounds like it was.
So that's really neat. There's a lot to break down on this. We're not going to do that tonight, but
no.
But it's still really neat, and it kind of is similar to some of the graffiti drawing or doodles on the side of the image that he posted today. But yeah, so that's pretty neat. So we now officially have a title for this movie called Mutant Mayhem. And the only other information that we've been receiving from the news outlets and everything else is that Paramount Plus has previously said that they're following the release of this movie a year from now. They're going to have a series of villain-centric movies, I guess, that will be available on Paramount Plus, obviously. And you have to assume that, given that they're saying that after this movie there's going to be something else, that it's probably going to be related to this movie. And so that's going to be interesting, considering that the Turtles generally fight other mutants. So maybe they're going to have something to do with that. So Ryan, what do you think about this title? Like, that's what I want to talk about tonight real quick. Like, because does it do anything for you? Like, what are you thinking?
I do like the title. I think Mutant Mayhem. I mean, it's pretty. It's a pretty good short description. You know, it's also alliterative.
Oh, it is. So we love that.
Like you're saying, kind of like what the Turtles face up against. Like, it's a lot of mutant stuff. I am interested. To me, Mutant Mayhem kind of makes me think that like there's a lot of mutation going on. Like, it just kind of feels to me like they're facing off against a lot of mutants. Like it's like kind of a crazy, almost like what were they called from the animated series?
Was it the Night of the Rogues or something like that?
Yeah, no. From the dark from Red Skies.
Havoc.
The Havoc. Yeah, it feels like a Havoc thing where you've got like a bunch of different mutants that from all over that the Turtles obviously didn't know like really existed until they were kind of put all under one banner, and now they're show up in the city like, what up? I would love to see that. I would love to see them fight almost like the Earth 3 Bizarro mutant Avengers that come to town or something like that. Some kind of like they show up, and this might be the fact that I just got done with the most recent season of Umbrella Academy talking.
Oh, yeah.
But you've got this kind of like, really like, hip, like, big, like, with a lot of money behind like promotion kind of like mutant hero fighting team. And they've got to kind of like figure out like what their deal is. It just sounds like it just sounds like there's a lot of mutants in it, which I'm all about. And obviously talking about the villain centric movies being like spinoffs would be pretty cool. And honestly, I think that this does probably herald a new series, animated series. They're probably going to hold off for a little while, clear the tanks. Frankly, kind of like what they should have done between 2012 and Rise. Yeah, like they probably should have had a breath. Maybe people kind of want some more, develop Rise more. Frankly, because I think whether you're a fan of Rise or not a fan of Rise, we could probably all agree that Rise could have done really well with a little bit more time in the oven, right? So chill this out, like, let it take a breath again, because the Turtles do, as we've seen, come in waves. Like the property is evergreen, but you got to have that forest fire, and then you got to let it die down for a bit. Then new stuff grows from that. Right. And I do like the idea that like Rise is done. We've got the Rise movie coming out very soon. I think someone said tomorrow.
It's very, very soon.
And so you've got that. So it's a great send off. Let that chill out while we wait a year, and we wait. And then if you've got a series developed off of this kind of Turtles, I would be very interested in it. A new refreshing take and stuff like that. But everything I see, I like. I think that like obviously Seth Rogen's put a ton of work into the stylistic design of like what this is going to be. There's just a lot of flavor like in that like kind of that note, that kind of like sketchy kind of notepad document he released, that image. Also just in the art that there's displaying now for the movie and stuff. There's just a lot of that going on, which is like it just feels very rich to me. Obviously who knows if it'll be great or good or not or whatever, but can't say there's not a ton of flavor being put into it. So that's got me hopeful. And a good, nice year waiting for more Viacom product, like animated product. I think that's just a nice, good cool off period.
Absolutely.
So I'm liking everything that I'm seeing and hearing.
Me too. And I'm glad that they're going with a CGI approach, because it's it leaves, there's more wiggle room, like and less things to be offended by, I guess, because like when you're dealing with like real life, like like live action stuff, you have to worry about like the actors and like what kind of stuff they bring to the table, like just personally as well as their talent wise. And then, you know, not to say that there's not talent in voice acting, because there certainly is, but you can overlook a lot more of that in voice acting, I think. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm really not looking forward to having to get a subscription to Paramount Plus. Nothing against them. It's just I don't want to have to get another one.
Just another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one. You know what I mean? Like on top of everything else. Yeah.
So other than that, but I'm a huge proponent for movies and TV shows going hand in hand, much like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is doing to great effect. Yeah. I wish that Game of Thrones had been that way in some form or fashion. And I think that a lot of our media and a lot of the things that we love, like different graphic novels and comic series and stuff like that, could benefit from that treatment. And hopefully the Turtles this could be the starting point of that. Now, I've heard some people say that there's a rumor that it might be a continuation from the 2007 movie that was itself, if I'm not mistaken, a continuation of movie 1, 2, and 3. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think we need to let that kind of lie and just be its own thing. And I like this being a fresh new start, and it's very much in the same vein as how, again, Marvel has handled Spider-Man. That like they didn't give us an intro story, origin story. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry, it was in the percolator somewhere in there.
No, the newest Spider-Man films are awesome because they're just like, here you go.
Yeah, here you go. And that's we all know it. And the thing, see, we were talking about this in a previous segment, but like. I hate to keep saying it again, but the since we're in the information age, if I can get it out, we have our phones. If we want to find out like the origin of the Turtles, we could just Google that. Generally speaking, you know, most people
you could literally like go in like a Seth Rogen style film. You could literally go through their whole origin story. Like, I almost feel like this is gonna feel the closest this is gonna feel a kindred to is 2012, the 2012 animated series.
Oh, yeah.
Just in that feeling, and you see like someone like Mikey like sitting down on the couch in the beginning, like going through like an old like family photo album, like you know what I mean, like going through it, like, oh, look at us, oh my god, we're babies. And then Raph's like, why the hell are you looking at that thing again? He's like, oh, we're so cute. You're like, I can see that happening. And literally, as he's going through the book, you see like Splinter with like these 4 little baby turtles like covered in goo, and he's like, oh, you know, and then like it's like a selfie kind of thing he does, and then all of a sudden you see they're bigger, and he's like, oh shit, like like that, like, and it could just be really funny, and that's all it is to it. If you have younger kids who like might not know the origin, right? Like really could be easily be told. That's a like great idea. A device like that in a very like Seth Rogen kind of like comedic way, and it's done.
Even if you do it, if you do it in the intro, like the credits. Like you have it like kind of like how I think Miss Marvel did that with some of her intro stuff where they showed the drawings and things like that to kind of explain some stuff, and that would be awesome. And if you want to show the Turtles in a can, Seth Rogen, holler at us. You can use our soup can logo and you can put the Turtles in that. We're totally cool with that. All day.
Yeah, but you could easily do it in a really hip way. The Turtles' origin doesn't need a ton, unless you want to really drill into origin and things branching off of that. I guess would be the only time that the origin would really matter. So if classic, the introduction of Mondo Gecko in the '87 animated series was kind of weirdly modern because it went back to the origin and goes, and Mikey, remember how weird it was? And Mikey's like, bro, I remembered there was another creature down there. Like it wasn't just us. Yeah. And honestly, that got me. Like this is 87 animated series where like, let's be honest, not a lot's going to really like, oh my God, I'm blown out. Like, like, oh man, you better put me to bed. Like you put that show in the freezer, you know, like nothing's really going to like haunt you at night. But I got to admit when he said that, he's like, I had a dream and I remember that. And I remember there being, and it was wound up being Mondo Gecko, even though of course it was 87. So they didn't do a lot with it. Right. That felt like an adventurous plot line. That felt like a modern plot line. So if you want to go back and like you've got your villain is say someone like Slash or someone like Mondo Gecko or something like that, and he goes back to the Turtles' origin, like in that sewer, and they remember him or something, then maybe we can go into the origin. But if not, I love the Tom Holland Spider-Man approach. You just go, guess what happened, boys, and now we're gonna deal with the real shit because everyone once again knows. So it really depends, but I have a feeling that this movie is going to adopt that same feeling. Yeah, that it's going to be very like it. Yeah, like we might make a reference to it to clue some kids in who don't know, but all you need to know is rat in the sewer, mutagen. We grew up. He
Turtles.
turned into a rat. Thank you very much. Human origin or not on Splinter, and because we're animated and stuff, I don't care. That's the other thing. I like isn't it funny how one thing that this has made me reflect on is when there was rumors that the first Platinum Dunes film was going human origin. I was pissed because they were going into human origin turtles. All this stuff. And I remember that rumor. I was like, oh my God, you know, and all this stuff. And like Splinter, typically, like, you know, if it's dark and it's real, I want Splinter to be Hamada Yoshi's rat, bro. Like that's where I'm at. Like, and that's just my opinion. But I want him to be a rat that was always really smart that became anthropomorphic. I don't want like Hamada Yoshi as a rat, right?
Yeah, no.
But all of a sudden, if it's Seth Rogen, it's kind of animated. I go, hey man, if you want it to be Hamada Yoshi human origin, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like animated stuff's done this before, and that's the difference you're talking about between a live action film with CG elements, and a pure CG animated movie.
Right.
I feel differently about what's got to kind of happen.
Yeah,
and I think that's where this film also has something on its side, is that it is unabashedly animated turtles, and that's what it's going to be. And I'm a huge fan. So so I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a long year, but I know that there's going to be a lot of drops and previews and teasers and stuff along the way. So we will definitely, obviously, keep everyone posted over this year. We're all in this together. You know what I'm saying? We're all in this year until only in theaters. You know what I'm saying?
Only in theaters.
Only in theaters. Isn't it funny how they have to say that now?
I know.
Like they have to say only in theaters now because like it's assumed like, well, I mean, it could just be streaming because that's how things work these days.
Exactly.
But we'll definitely keep you guys posted on all that stuff. Yeah, and if you have any thoughts on this, you have your own speculation, you can always go to Facebook and join our Facebook group, Turtle Soup Show. We're over there, you know what I'm saying? Great conversations happening about really just anything Turtles in the franchise in general. A lot of really good, well thought out commentary, which I appreciate. There was a thread about the Cowaboomer thing, and you know, if you don't like Rise, you're a Cowaboomer, is what a lot of people were saying on the internet. And there was a very thoughtful discussion about, and I really liked the way it bounced out. You can always email us at turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. That's where you can send any stuff or comment on this video. And if you were watching this video, like and subscribe, you know what I'm saying? You hit that bell icon. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, Turtle Soup did another one? Another one? And you're going to want to be subscribed with that bell icon because, like, you know, we got a year in this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you're going to want to get up to date on those update videos. You know what I'm saying? So do yourself a favor and hit that old bell.
Hit that old bell. Well, all right, guys. Well, the dinner bells are ringing. We're gonna get to the prime side, so we'll catch you on the prime side. And until more news drops about anything turtle related, I'll see you.